One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week. Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water. The ship's water isn't much better. If we don't get fresh water soon, we'll all end up like her.
Hey there.
Hey there.
Welcome to a quick... This is a quick fix. I mean, that's the name of our shop. Polly and mine, that is. My name is Cindy. Cindy Cantelli. We've got all kinds of chems. A pleasure doing business with you. The Muddy Rudder. Bell waters down the liquor, but it's cheap. It's on the lower deck.
Welcome to Potomac Attire. Welcome to Potomac Attire. I am Bannon, proprietor and city council member. I carry discriminating attire for discriminating customers. Between you and me, keeping out the riffraff is good for business. Now, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. Dr. Lee, Chief Harkness, and I are all on the council. We meet every Monday morning. Can't prove it. Now, if someone were to find something in very influential, if you know what I mean. It's a place to live, safe from raiders and super mutants. With Dr. Lee on our side, maybe we can even begin to rebuild the world. Why, I practically set this whole place up. When I got here 12 years ago, it was just a handful of dead-enders squatting in a rusted-out rowboat. Now I'm on the council, and with my leadership, we're the strongest settlement in the wastes. Of course, a few of those dead-enders still stick around, but who'd want to leave? Well, yes, but it was hardly any place of importance until I arrived on the scene. That's all ancient history now. No one would ever care about it. If you insist on wasting your time on that, you could try that bartending old crone down below, Belle Bonnie. Come back soon.
Evening. Evening.
Was there something else? You know what you need to do.
Is there a problem? Bannon and Dr. Lee and I all meet on Monday mornings to talk about citywide issues. It's pretty informal. The council doesn't have much real power. She's one of the members of the council, runs the science lab here. Don't bother her unless it's important. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship. Carry on, then.
You don't look so tough. They call me sister. Don't ask. Smart move. What did you want? Do I look like someone who cares? So do I.
I think I'll walk the flight. I'm Diego, the acolyte for St. Monica's. St. Monica saved her own son's soul from eternal damnation. She is now the patron saint of lost children for the faithful everywhere. You really should come to church on Sunday mornings. The sermon will be all about St. Monica. Father Clifford takes the donations. You'll have to talk to him. Oh yes, Father Clifford conducts services every Sunday morning. You should come. Father Clifford. The sanctuary is in the ship's fore on the upper deck. The good father holds services every Sunday morning. What are you talking about? I'm a man of the cloth. Well, I will be as soon as Father Clifford... Never mind. It doesn't matter what Angela thinks. Soon I will take vows of chastity. Father Clifford says she is my trial, my temptation. I must choose between her and the church. I have chosen the church. I heard tell the place used to be run by raiders until someone cleared the whole place out, but I don't really know for sure. God bless you. I heard that the city council is debating putting railings on the flight.
Well,
Welcome to the Weatherly. Mr. Buckingham at your service. This is the Weatherly Hotel. It's the finest establishment in Rivet City. Yes, sir.
I hope they do something.
I am Father Clifford of St. Monica's Church. She is the patron saint of lost children, very popular among the faithful of Rivet City. I'm surprised you've never heard of her. If you want to hear her story, it will be the topic of my sermon on Sunday. Services begin at 8 a.m. You should come. Yes, my flock is all of Rivet City. You should come to services this Sunday. I'll be telling the tale of St. Monica. Oh, it's not the past of the city that I dwell upon, but the future of its inhabitants. But if you're interested, I believe Miss Weatherly or Mr. Bannon would be glad to speak with you on the subject. St. Monica bless you.
Remember that child that fell off the deck last year?
Well, welcome to the Weatherly Hotel. I'm your hostess, Vera Weatherly. Well, I really shouldn't tell you, but have you heard about Polly Cantelli? He's addicted to chems. His poor wife Cindy is at her wit's end. You haven't heard? Angela has the hots for Diego. But since he's a priest, he's been putting her off. One of these days, she's just going to jump his bones. They say Mr. Lopez is losing it. He stands on the top of the bridge tower for hours at a time, just staring out over the city. Poor dear. I know what it's like to be alone. I'd love to take him in. Don't worry. I have the means to keep him fed and healthy, but most importantly, safe. Oh, that's wonderful. If you ever wander back into Rivet City, why don't you check up on us? You're always welcome.
Yeah, that was better.
Welcome back, sir. Well, I could tell you all about my hotel, but I'm sure I don't know anything about how Rivet City itself got started. I mean, you hear rumors and you make guesses, but I really couldn't say I know for sure, and I'd hate to lead you down the wrong path. Actually, now that you mention it, Seagrave may know more about it. He's been here since he was just a boy, and I can't imagine anyone knows this ship better than he does. Farewell.
I'm sure they'll do something about it.
There was something like that on the just yesterday. The gate guard said the gunfire.
That's why I'm glad I'm in here. Good old Rivet City.
Me too. Nothing is getting through these walls.
I'm Janice Kaplinski, Chief Botanist. What do you need? I did see a man talking to Dr. Lee, but I really shouldn't be discussing it. She's already in a bad mood. I'd hate to make it worse. You should probably just talk to her about it. If it hasn't got to do with the science quarters, I'm probably not the one to ask. And Dr. Lee's so busy, you really shouldn't disturb her work. So long.
The ship's water isn't much better. We don't have fresh water.
This is a... You're in the Rivet City Clinic. I'm Dr. Preston. I don't see anything wrong with you. Pinkerton, eh? That name takes me way back. Claimed to have cured radiation poisoning. Or was it food poisoning? I don't recall. He was always telling folks that he founded Rivet City. All he did was break off the front of it. Or did he die there? I don't recall. Don't get any cute ideas. Security is just a shout away. Now, if you've got any medical issues, let's hear them. The Weatherly Hotel is a good choice. It's on the upper deck. He's totally strung out. It's going to kill him one of these days. Oh, I'd like to help. I really would. But I don't know the first thing about this place's history. Don't let my age fool you. I may have been around for a while, but I didn't spend all that time here. Take care of yourself.
There was some sort of battle in the city yesterday. The gate
That's
guard
secure
said
for a
the
reason.
fire went on for over an hour.
That's why I'm glad I'm in here.
I'm not
Good
supposed
old
to talk to
Rivet City.
strangers.
Me too. Nothing is getting through these walls. Saint Monica bless you.
This place could use a few more people willing to work. Everything is falling apart. I'm the only one willing to fix it. I'm busy. I've got a lot of repairs to make.
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
Did you hear about the fight in the Muddy Rudder last night?
Yeah, Belle's gonna have to replace some tables and chairs.
I'm sure she'll just scrounge some from the lower deck. Yeah? Henry's my husband. I have a daughter, CJ, too. You'll see her running around here with James Hargrave. We're the lucky ones. We don't have to fight just to survive. We have normal jobs. I clean the halls. It might not look like it, but you should have seen it before. Oh, I don't know about that. For all I know, it's had survivors on it since the war. I'm just thankful it's here. Maybe if you ask Bannon. He's been simply wonderful on the council, so I'm sure he'd be glad to help with your question. Goodbye.
I'm busy. I've got a lot of repairs to make.
Evening. Don't know you, don't care. Keep it short. I'm short on time, and your 5 minutes are up. See ya. What's your beef? History? Fuck if I know. Hell, fuck if I care. Bye. It's locked for a reason. Don't get any ideas. So noisy last night.
Don't know about your runaway robot, and we don't care. This lab is dedicated to solving real problems.
Yes. But Dr. Lee.
Dr. Lee is trying to save lives, and your constant interruptions are interfering with those efforts. Now please, stand aside.
I'm sure the good doctor's work with water purification is fascinating. But if you only knew what was at stake, the technology in that android...
What's at stake? You won't tell me what's at stake. Vagaries and secrecy. A robot's a robot, Zimmer, no matter how shiny the paint job. Now, please.
Ignorance and facetiousness. That's all you people are good for. Shiny paint job indeed. You can't even imagine the Commonwealth's accomplishments.
You know, if you're so smart, maybe you could help us, But no, that never even crossed your mind. Go peddle your selfishness somewhere else.
Fine, but I'm not leaving. Not until I've spoken to Dr. Lee. I'll be here when she's ready to abandon her chemistry set and talk real science.
Suit yourself.
You there. What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire? To the point. I like that. Well, as it turns out, I've misplaced some very sensitive property. How do I put this in a way you'll understand? All you know of robots are those buckets of bolts, those Mr. Handshakers and whatnot. Well, that's not all a robot can be. You see, in the Commonwealth, we've made artificial persons, synthetic humanoids, programmed to think and feel and do whatever we need. And occasionally, they get confused and wander off. What? Let me see that. This is a neuroservo, unique to the A321. And you say you got this from his corpse? I suppose there's no other way you could have obtained it. Well, damn it! I was afraid this would happen. Out here in this wasteland. Well, here's 50 caps for your troubles. Try to buy yourself an education out here in this hell. Good day.
Hey.
No, I don't think you're him. That's close enough. Keep your hands where I can see them.
Hey there. Look, some of us are trying to get work done here. There have been enough disruptions recently. Anybody coming through here would have to talk to Dr. Lee. Why don't you go bother her about it? She's certainly head and shoulders above most everyone else around here, though that's not saying much. The Weatherly Hotel is a good choice. It's on the upper deck. Bye.
What do you want? Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's son, aren't you? What are you doing here? You were too young to remember, and I suppose James never spoke of me. Typical. I am Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your parents many years ago. Now I run the science lab here in Rivet City. It was all I had left. When your mother died, your father decided to leave with you. He abandoned our work. We had no choice but to do the same. I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died, and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know? Yes, your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you. James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time and wants to try again. Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could. Yes, well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough. Okay. What do you want to know? Okay. You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there. Did you? I was under the impression that's exactly the opposite of what he wanted for you. Well, you won't find him here. He's come and gone already. Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you. It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building, northwest of here. Please, don't go after him. It was foolish of him to even think about going there alone. The last I knew, he was headed back to the lab at Project Purity in the old Jefferson Memorial Building. I still say it's dangerous, and he shouldn't have risked it. That's all I know. Look, I don't want to be harsh, but I have problems of my own. I don't have the resources to support James's foolish endeavors, or your chasing after him. I'm sorry. I suppose I can spare a few stim packs. It's not much, but it might make things easier for you. What? Well, I'm not sure what there is to tell. Your father and I, we worked together for a long time. I think we were really on to something. But then there were complications. The project was abandoned and your father disappeared. I returned here to Rivet City and established the lab you see before you now. Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know? It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone. Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water. It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated. We had the basic principles down, we understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine, but anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just too much. Maybe if we'd had more time, or better equipment. You happened. It wasn't just you. We had more problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us. Once he was gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the purifier. Okay. This is the Rivet City Science Lab. It's taken many long years to put together, but we've done well for ourselves. Our work on portable fusion power and hydroponics are coming along quite nicely, if not quite according to schedule. Rivet City is one of the few bastions of civilization left in the land. We're working to rebuild our society, to make the world livable again. I could tell you all about the science lab, but even though I was here near the start, I can't really help with the details of how it all worked out. It all seems like a lifetime ago. I'm afraid I've had a lot of things on my mind since those early days. Good luck finding your father.